Hey, happy day 605 of What's She Up To Now. She being Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, also known as Pajama Grandma. What am I doing as I transition from the brick and mortar world of corporate America and online businesses and business suits and that craziness to the online world in my pajamas or my robe? Because most days I show up on live video in my pajamas or in my robe. Once in a while I'll do a training or a segment or a Q&A thing dressed and in actual real clothes. But I would say 90+% of my videos of all 605 of these have been in my pajamas. But maybe 2 or 3 I've been dressed, but not very many. And I've made thousands of videos over the last 605 days, over the last 2 years, on different aspects of my business and what I'm doing. And most of those have been in my pajamas. Some of them not, but the vast majority of them, at least 90% of them, have been in my pajamas, which people don't understand, which is on purpose, because I am so, I'm trying to convey the message that we can create whatever we want, doing what we want, where we want, when we want, with whomever we want, wearing whatever we want. And most of us are pretty comfortable in our pajamas. At least I am, because I only pick pajamas that I'm comfortable in. If I'm not, boom, they're out of here. And we want to set up our lives so that we're comfortable in our lives. The vast majority of people I run across are not happy and super comfortable in their lives. And maybe I'm surrounding myself with the wrong people, but for the most part, as human beings, I think we're always in this state of satisfied and dissatisfied with different aspects of our life. I love the people that everything seems to be clicking and flowing for. And once you get things clicking and flowing, if as long as you appreciate and are grateful for those things, you'll continue to get more of those. And you get on this stream where everything does flow nicely. Now, me, I haven't figured out that entire stream yet. It's been still pretty much the roller coaster ride with really high highs and some low lows and really high highs and low lows and still rolling, but in a general upward trending direction, which is what we all want for our lives, right? So today, what am I working on? I'm working on the One Funnel Away Challenge. Today is actually the very last day of it. It's week 4, day 7, and it will be a review day. I haven't checked it out yet, but that's what it'll be. It actually really ended on a couple days ago with the how do you know what to do when your particular funnel isn't working. It's a One Funnel Away Challenge, so of course you want to know when your funnel isn't working. What do you do? Guess what? Hate to break it to people, but the vast majority of them do not work right out of the gate. I finally had one of my students launch his funnel on yesterday. Maybe he did Thursday. He did Thursday, because Thursday was a really bad day for me. So he had messaged me that he finally launched it Thursday. And it's been like 4 months that it's been pretty much done and ready to go. But he had one little thing that was holding him up, and we needed to work him through that and get him over the hump to launch that funnel. And he finally did. Now, I haven't checked with him. I'll check with him today. He's actually out in LA at a conference, a speakers conference, for 2 days, which is why I haven't checked with him. But when he gets back tomorrow, we'll check in with him and we'll see, okay, what are your numbers looking like? Have you driven traffic to it? I don't think he's been driving traffic to it because he's out in LA this weekend. But Monday, I'll encourage him to start getting traffic to it, start promoting it, and then we'll start looking at the numbers. And as the numbers come in, then we'll know what to do to tweak it, because I guarantee it's not perfect out of the gate. Wouldn't that be awesome to just get a home run out of the gate? It'd be like being an overnight success. Doesn't everybody want to be an overnight success? Every overnight success I know is at least 10 to 20 years in the making. Usually more like 20 to 30 years in the making, but everybody that's an overnight success, even Grant Cardone. Is Grant Cardone an overnight success? Not if you look at his history. Russell Brunson, is he an overnight success? Not if you look at his history. Tony Robbins, the man, right? But he's 35, almost 40 years in the making, right? I've grown up with Tony Robbins. So there are no overnight successes in any industry, in any venture, in any genre. And somebody might pop into an industry and appear to be an overnight success, but then you'll find out that they have 20 years experience in another industry that they cut their teeth on. I just saw a Delivering Wow dental lady message, which made me think of a teeth reminder. So they cut their teeth in a different industry, in a different business. And so always, never, number one, don't compare yourself to other people. But if you catch yourself doing it, because it's human nature to say, oh my God, this person was a success in just like they made $10 million in 18 months. How is that possible? How come I haven't done that yet? Whenever you catch yourself doing that, stop and go look into that person's history. Go learn more about them and find out more about their story. And realize that what you investigate, what you find out on social media is probably only the story that they're presenting to you. So dig deeper if it's really bothering you. If it's still in your mind and you're comparing yourself to that person, get more information. And I guarantee you will find out that there's a lot more to the story than what you see. Even famous marketers that we love and follow, you know, I think Russell Brunson, Steven Larson, I've known them for a long time. I know that there's stories that they present over and over and over again, and they even tell us, and they've told me, it's like you're a comedian, and I love comedy. My sister had a comedy club in the 80s, and I love comedy, and I remember the comics would come out and they would practice their material. Some stuff would go over really, really well. Some stuff would totally bomb, and it would just be dead silent in this auditorium. And it wasn't really an auditorium, it was a club. But in the club, it would just be dead silent. And they would know that that joke didn't work. So then the next day when they came on stage, guess what? That joke was out of their, which is a story, right? Jokes are stories. That story was out of their act. They would take it out of their act. And they would keep going until they got their thing, their spiel, their perfect act. And marketers and speakers do the same thing. They practice their stories because we all have lots of stories at our disposal. Oh my God, I'm almost 60 years old. Do you think I don't have a story for just about any situation? If I think about it, I sure do. And I probably have 9 or 10 stories that would illustrate that situation or that thing or that feeling or that point that I'm trying to get across. So, and all of us have those. And if we don't have stories of our own, we can use other people's stories. So we practice and we pull those stories. But what's being presented on the online world are just the stories people want you to see, the stories people want you to hear. And so we have to keep that in mind whenever we're trying to compare ourselves to others. And the trick is never, ever compare yourself to others. Because guess what? There's only one you, and you are the only one that can be the best version of you. So if you set your sights on just continually improving and being the best person you can possibly be and becoming the best human being, and best is, of course, defined by you. Best might be richest to you. Best might be smartest. Best might be prettiest. It might be however you want to define it. And as long as you're continually improving and moving toward that goal, whatever your goal is, that's what matters. It doesn't matter what your mom says or what your sisters say or your brothers or your cousins or your friends or your frenemies. It doesn't matter, or your coworkers. All that matters is, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel good when you make a step toward what it is that you want? If it does, keep taking those steps. Take that step and then take the next one. If it doesn't, reevaluate. Say, I wanted to make this step. I want to take this action, but it just doesn't feel right to me. What is a step that I can take that feels better, a little bit better? And then just take that step instead. And you'll watch how your life almost magically unfolds just as it should for you. Because guess what? The universe and the world is really here for us. It's in our favor. It's only us and the crap we get into in our head and in our minds that stops us and slows us down and puts all these obstacles and challenges in our way. So, one funnel away challenge last day. Moving on to, I will start something different tomorrow. I put some feelers out about a health challenge because I need to get my blood pressure down. And so I would love some people that would just do a longer term lifestyle change health challenge with me. So I committed to my doctor that in the next 6 to 9 months I would get my blood pressure down, and if I don't, I have to go on medication. Now, to you, it might not be a big motivator, but to me, to go on another pharmaceutical medication is a huge motivator to make lifestyle changes. I absolutely positively do not want to do that. I'm already on one for my heart and for my box that it's a beta blocker that regulates that. I did try to go off that twice now, and both times it sent my blood pressure through the roof. And so maybe that me messing with myself and being my own science experiment has contributed to that now being a challenge. But I want to make that a challenge in a positive way. Okay, what lifestyle changes can I make to get my blood pressure down? So if anybody wants to do that with me, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, we will be doing some customer finding, client getting work in the next couple of weeks. I've got a project that I'm working on that I will launch, and I'll tell you about as soon as I decide exactly what I want it to be. I always hate to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. So I'm not going to say it until I know exactly what I want to do with it. I think it's time to team up with some other people that can bring different perspectives to the party, because I mean, it's not all about me and my perspective, it's about other people and their perspective. That's why I love doing the Women's Summit, and I really want to revisit that. I planned on doing like 4, and after the first one decided, okay, these are a ton of work. They're really, it was really, really fun for me and educational, but they're a lot of work for what I wanted to do with it. And so I do want to do another one this year still. It's already September. That may be committing a lot. So I'd like to get another one done this year, but I'll get another one done this year. I just committed to that out loud. I will get another one done this year. I better get on it right now. Like starting today, I better contact people and say, hey, I want to be on a summit. Because I think they're super powerful, and I think it's a really incredible way for you to get exposure to other people that you might not otherwise meet or come across. It's kind of like networking. The way we meet people is through other people that know people that can do the things that we want to do or help us in areas that we want to help with our life. It's extremely powerful. Networking and masterminds to me are some of my favorite things, because they allow us as human beings to team up and exponentially grow and impact things that we want to impact and do things that we want to do faster and easier than we ever could have even imagined possible. So working on that. Sunday is a fun day for me. Sunday is my day. I love Sundays, but you know, I'll be honest, I love every day of the week now. I'm to the point in my life where there's a lot of days I wake up and I have to like think about what day of the week is it, because that's what happens when you have a lot of freedom and you make your own schedule and you do what you want, when you want, with whomever you want, wearing whatever you want. That's what happens. Sometimes you forget what day of the week it is. Have you ever been on vacation and you're laying there and you're waking up in the morning and you're like, you're like, gosh, I wonder what day of the week it is. So that's kind of like how I am a lot nowadays. But I do love Sunday. I love Sundays because it's just a day to do whatever I want. And sometimes it's doing work. Sometimes it's doing recordings. Sometimes it's going on an adventure. Sometimes it's hanging out with people I love and care about. Sometimes it's just having some me time and pampering me, or organizing something, or thinking about and planning and getting ideas that move me in the direction I want to go. Or it's a personal development day. Maybe it's a day that I listen to a course, or I implement a new thing, or I learn something new. I love learning, so if I can spend part of my Sundays learning something new, that is actually delightful to me. So what are you doing today? Share in the comments below what you're doing today, how you spend your Sundays. I remember a long time ago, I used to spend my Sunday getting everybody ready for the week ahead, getting me ready for work, getting the kids ready for school, getting the ex ready for his work. And Sunday was not always a fun day. It was a bust your butt and get as much done as you possibly can to make the week ahead smoother day. And so Sunday wasn't always the best day, but now I absolutely love Sundays. So that's it. Go out, make an amazing day. I will, of course, fill you in tomorrow with what is up in the transition from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world of business. Go out, have an amazing day. See you tomorrow. Bye.